Hello and welcome to a Channeled Muse. I'm here to bring you your intention and focus for today. I do want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and your support in growing this channel. All right, you guys, so let's see exactly what energies we'll be dealing with today. The overall energy, what's coming towards us, what will be supporting us, or what we will be leaving behind. We have the unknown energies, right? And the energies that we know or need to know. All right, so let's go ahead and get these. We have 2 cards out. All right, so we have all the cards out there. There we go. Put those there. So the first card that came out is perception, right? This is the general overall energy perception. All right. The energy that's coming towards us is a facade. We have acceptance. And that energy is either supporting us or the energy that we're leaving behind. Empath. This is the background energy. This is the energy that we don't, this is the energy, the energy that's playing itself out in the background, the subconscious energy. All right, and then we have here treasure and bittersweet as the known or need to know. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the reading here. Right, so we have perception, and a lot of times and this could be dealing with matters of the heart. I'm kind of feeling like this overall general change in perception has a lot to do with heart matters dealing with relationships, whether they be intimate relationships, marriages, companionships, significant others. This could be relationships with your family members, a brother, a sister, things of that nature. This general overall energy is talking about perception, right? How we perceive heart matters. And a lot of you guys, dealing with what's going on, as an overall collective conscious, these energies are playing out in the background, how we see things, right? Either you can see the glass half full or you can see the glass half empty. But however you see any relationship that you're dealing with, it has a lot to do with how your behavior is going to play out, the things you're going to speak, and the things that you're going to think about, right? It's all about changing your perception. And a lot of times this helps with heart matters because what's coming towards us, you guys, is a facade. So either I feel like a facade could be either being built up, right? Because this is the energy that's coming towards us, right? So facades are fronts, they're faces, they're masks. And unless we begin to accept relationships as for what they are, a lot of times we want to change individuals. A lot of times we want to, or we think that we can change an individual, but most of the time we have to accept people for who they are. We have to accept ourselves for who they are. And if we don't allow that acceptance to flow, what happens is people begin to put up a facade, an image, a mask, and a lot of you guys could be dealing with this type of energy because it has a lot to do with how you see an individual in any type of relationship, right? This facade, it clouds us. It clouds an individual's judgment. It clouds their decisions. It clouds their perception. When we put facades up, and we have to learn how to allow people to be themselves, right? Because we can't change anyone but ourselves. And the first and foremost important thing that we have to understand is changing ourselves, right? We have to change ourselves if we want to see the change externally. We have to set those examples And those examples are set by how we perceive our perception towards other individuals, our perceptions toward relationships, our perceptions towards our money matters, our family, right? Because a lot of you guys are dealing with some empath energy. So this gives me a little bit more insight into why the facade is being put up and why acceptance is really needed in this particular energy that we're dealing with, because there's an empath, meaning the universe is saying we need to change directions. We need to change course and action. How we're moving. It's time to change that because we're at an impasse. And this particular card speaks about an individual who's trying to go through some mountains here. But if they go through those mountains, they're going to be faced with some very difficult and hard times. So the impasse says, hey, we're not stopping you, but we would like for you to change directions. All right. And the empath is saying change directions in how you see things, your perception, right? Your perception. Because if not, people are going to put and continue to put up this facade, right? This mask, right? Which is going to kind of cloud your judgment. You're not going to be able to accept them. And so we have to accept people for who they are. We have to allow them to experience life. We have to allow them to experience, have their situations, have their circumstances. We have to allow these things to come so that they can get the wake-up call that's needed. Right? Because believe it or not, what happens is it's a bittersweet deal. However, there's abundance there, right? Not wealth. We're talking about abundance, you know? And if you look at this particular card, you have an individual who, look, he's lost something. He's lost something very dear to him. Right? And this individual saying, well, I lost something, but let me see if I can get it. And at the end of the day, it's your perception, because now he feels like all is done and over. You see how the perceptions? Do you see the perceptions? He's drinking, you know, he's at a loss. He's at an impasse. He's at an impasse. But this individual, because maybe she sees the cup halfway full, she's saying, you know what, let me try to find what I've lost. What I want you guys to understand is you really can't lose anything that is truly yours, right? Nothing is ever lost. And abundance and the treasures that come with abundance, you know, what the games that are played is that people try to steal things that can't be stolen because it's a part of you. It's within you. We have to understand that we have jewels within us. We have jewels that come from within, and they can never be stolen. The only thing that we can do is we can give them away. We can give them away. But the jewels, the treasure, the true abundance, right? It comes from within. It comes from a change in perception. How are you choosing to see your relationships? Your money matters. Your family matters. Your heart matters. How are you choosing to think? How are you choosing to live? Right? If you think all is doom and gloom, then that's what you're going to receive, if that's your perception. But if you say, you know what, wait a minute, you know, all isn't lost. Maybe I can find it. Right? And this is bittersweet because, you know, we all have aspects of God within us, you know. We are an extension of God. We are an extension of the universe. And with this comes a bitter type of sweet, remember, a bitter type of sweet deal, right? Because we search for things that are within, We're searching for things that's within. And when we chase, so I'm looking at the cards now and I'm seeing this here perception. She's looking at it. She's looking at acceptance. So what it's telling me is that a lot of you guys are dealing with some matters where you need to accept, right? Accept, even if it's a facade. Even if the facade is coming your way and it appears to be one thing when it really isn't. So now what I'm getting is that, you know, reality can be a big facade. Like what you see is not always what you get. You know, it's your perception, and we can change our perceptions. We can change how we decide to see things. The glass is half empty. We're going to feel like we're lacking. But if we change our perception and believe that the glass is half full, there's no lack. It's just a switch in perception. It's a switch. It's even when you're changing your perception, you're changing the dimensions that you're able to navigate in. So you're kind of going in and out of different dimensions when you get an opportunity to change your perception. And this impasse will be just a way to say, hey, maybe I need to change a course in action. Maybe I need to change a direction. You know, it's not all is not lost. Everything is not done and over with. Right? Accepting a reality or accepting the fact that maybe a change in perception is needed to get through the facade that are being put up before us. We have to remember we're living in some very peculiar times. A lot of people are dealing with a lot of family matters, right? Relationships, because of what's going on a collective level, from the government on down to each individual household. It's affecting everyone, and not because maybe you have not been directly affected by that shutdown, but you've definitely been affected indirectly because everyone, you know, takes advantages of services that are provided by the government. Like if you work and you looking to receive an income tax check, like, you know, the facade that's being put up is like, hold up, okay, wait a minute. Everyone, you know, that works, they're looking, you know, those are services. We just have to understand that those are services that are provided. So if you were not, you know, directly affected by the shutdown, maybe you were indirectly affected by the shutdown, however it goes, at the end of the day, we all must understand that a change in perception is needed. And this is affecting households. This energy that we're dealing with on a collective level is affecting entire households. So we have to understand that once we begin to change our perception about our situations, no matter what they be, even though there may seem to be an impasse, a stop, so you have to have that hope or that faith and accept. Okay, because once you begin to accept the matter, and acceptance doesn't mean that you condone what's going on. It doesn't mean that you're going to continue in the state or the situation that you're in. It just means that you understand at this moment, maybe you can't control it, right? Maybe you can't control it. So you accept the fact that you can't do anything about it. You accept the fact that this is something that you cannot change right now. Right? So, you know, this is a very powerful reading, because anytime we're dealing with perceptions, when it comes to heart matters, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to building and creating, you know, building foundations and creating upon those foundations, we're always going to get this type of energy that comes our way, you know, whether it be from external individuals or whether this energy stems from within, right? Everyone puts on masks to a certain extent. But we have to understand that, you know, it's not, the eyes only give us so much. It's without light, we wouldn't really be able to see. We have to learn how to use our intuition and other senses so that we can be able to navigate the different dimensions in order to change our perceptions regarding our relationships, regarding our finances, regarding our family matters, our heart matters, etc., right? Because right now, a lot of people are still at an impasse. All right. They're kind of like gridlock. They're kind of stuck and they're not really sure how they can navigate. So the answer to this is to change how you see things. You know, be grateful for the things that you have. Be grateful and thankful for what you have at this moment and press forward and move forward. Accept the fact that maybe if you don't have a job right now, that maybe if you don't have that significant other right now, accept the fact that maybe if you don't have family right now, accept it. It's just a facade. You know, it's just right now, it's just something right now that you're dealing with, some energy that you're dealing with that you can't change. But if you change your perception, right? If you change your perception, because listen, if you did lose a job, you know, where the treasure is truly within you. It wasn't the job. You make the job. Like, you're the one that makes the money. You're the one that uses the energy. You wake up every day to go to work. If you lost someone that you love dearly, remember, there's still energy that you're using to put into that relationship, to build that relationship. And we're talking about abundance, but here, this is a treasure box. Like, what are you holding dear and near to your heart? What is your treasure? Right? Do you treasure a peace of mind? Right? And anytime you hold dear and near to something, no matter what it is, that deal is always going to be bittersweet. And this is us navigating the different dimensions so that our perceptions can change, so that we can move forward, because it's all about moving life forward. Life doesn't stop. Time doesn't stop. All right. So those all I have. Let's see here. I'm going to just pull right off the deck. So this change in perception is because there was a bit of impatience. You know, a lot of people are being very impatient about whatever matters they're dealing with right now. They want to see results. They want this impasse, you know, to be moved out the way. They just want to rush through. But the universe is saying, you know, you have to be patient, right? You have to be patient and you have to just persevere, you know, push through. Once you begin to change your perception and accept, then you'll begin to see through the facade, because it's about seeing through it, right? Because facades are just a bunch of clouds that don't allow you to see. Right? But once the clouds are out of the way, then you get a clear view of what's truly going on. So what's truly going on is that, you know, a lot of times we be a little bit impatient about our situations and we just want them to change immediately. But we have to understand that energies have to be worked through. Like, they literally, you have to work through energies. We have to learn lessons. And this is what allows us to grow, right? We have to grow through the things that we go through. And this is what allows us to grow. And we can't be impatient. We have to persevere through these situations and circumstances, right? So that's what I have for you guys today. I do want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Always an honor and a pleasure to bring these readings to you. Until next time. Love you guys. Bye-bye.